World, and this is Rocket from. His name is on the website.
MyDogRocket.com.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm Daddy. I'm behind the camera. And what we're going to do right now is share with you a little bit of how we make the podcast from Aaron's perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Okay, Aaron. So tell me, what do we do when we're first coming up with ideas? How do we come up with ideas for the podcast?
Well, we have production meetings, we go to museums, we go to the bookstore, we go to a lot of places that have information about stuff like dinosaurs, and we go a lot of places for production meetings.
Yeah, we've had them while we've eaten pizza, we've had them at the park. I think we may have even had one at the pool. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But we basically go places where we can just sit down and talk about our ideas for episodes. What are some of your favorite ideas for episodes you've come up with?
My favorite, let's see. Well, this is kind of not an episode, but I like it. Well, this is not an episode, but my favorite idea was the evil bad guy.
The evil bad guy that showed up in season 2?
Yeah.
Is he really so evil?
No, but we shouldn't spoil it.
Okay, I'm sorry. All right, but yeah, the evil bad guy was your idea, and you.
I can't. Oh, you can go.
You told it to me, and then what did I do with your idea?
You fitted it into the story.
Yeah. And who came up with the very end of the podcast? How the story's going to end?
Oh, me.
Yeah. And did I like your idea at first about how the story would end?
And oh no.
No, because I thought it was going to be really, really hard to do. I wasn't sure how we would do a podcast about it, but you wanted it. It was how you wanted the story to end. So we figured it out. Change the story as we go along?
Sometimes, if we need to.
Or if we have some new ideas? And who picks all the dinosaurs and the animals? And the prehistoric animals that we use?
M-E, me.
That's right, you pick them all. And do you pick the information that we share about them?
Yeah, but you write it down.
Yeah, I help you write it down. So Aaron, what do we do once we're all finished coming up with ideas for prehistoric animals and stories and episodes? What comes next?
Then we do research.
How do we do that?
Well, we can read books. I'll show you my research books. We're back, and I got all my books.
That's a pretty big pile you got there. Why don't you show us what you have?
I have a dinosaur encyclopedia. And I have a evolution book from Daniel.
Daniel who? Do you remember his last name?
No.
Daniel Loxton.
He's one of my favorite authors.
For science books? Yep. And actually you and your mommy read that one together, didn't you?
Yeah.
That looks like a heavy one, this next one.
It's another dinosaur encyclopedia.
That is a big one. Did you read that whole thing?
My mom read it.
Your mom read the whole dinosaur encyclopedia to you?
Yeah, for every night for bedtime. Bedtime story.
Okay.
It's heavy.
It is heavy. What else you got?
A dinosaur atlas.
What's special about a dinosaur atlas?
It tells us the locations of the dinosaurs, so we know where I'm going to be for an episode, and where I'm going to find them. And this is just a science book that has pretty much every science thing in it, but it's not as heavy as the dinosaur
encyclopedia?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the heaviest one. And since sometimes we talk about science, not just dinosaurs, that comes in handy, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So, when you start looking through them for information about dinosaurs, are there things that you try to always share about dinosaurs? Certain types of information?
Well, I always tell where they live, what they look like, what they eat.
And then what do we do with all that information?
We put it in a script.
We put it in a script.
For an episode.
Mm-hmm. Should we share what some of our scripts look like?
Yeah.
All right, why don't you go get some?
Wait, I'll be right back. I'm back and I brought lots of examples of scripts. These are like books I made in episode 1, episode 4, episode 3, episode 2, and these are my dad made these scripts.
Those are my notes from one of our production meetings.
And for season 2 right now, we make scripts on the computer.
Which is much easier.
Mm-hmm. Because then it's darker and you can see better like this.
Yeah, so we're much more organized now.
Mm-hmm.
We do it together, and we get the scripts done, and then usually I read you the final script.
Uh-huh.
And you say whether or not you like it or not, or whatever changes you might want.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever make changes?
Sometimes.
You usually change things that I might get wrong.
Yeah.
I don't get a lot of things wrong. I heard that. I get some things wrong. That's why we always make sure you read the script before we do it. Even though we have a script for each episode, do you still just get to talk sometimes about whatever you might like to about a dinosaur?
Yes.
Yeah, and then we work that into the episode the best we can. So it's a little bit of both. So once all the scripts are done, when we're working on an episode, what comes next?
Then we record. We are in the dining room where we record.
And what's that in front of you?
This is the microphone that I record, and this is the lines, the script.
The script. What episode are you going to do for us today?
Oh, this one's on 21, but I need 23.
You do episode 23?
Yeah.
Okay, well, while you find it, I'll mention that we set up the microphone, and I plug it into my laptop, and we usually sit here, and we go through the lines. Now, do you read the script and say your lines at the same time?
No.
What do you do? How does it work?
Daddy reads the lines for me, and then I say the line he tells me, and then he reads another line for me, and then I do that into the microphone, and then it goes on and on until it's over.
And why do we do it that way? Why don't you just read the script yourself?
It's because when we started Darren's World, I was 6 and now I'm 7, so I still need a little more practice with reading.
Oh, yeah. So basically you're learning to read. So you want to give us a little example of how you start an episode?
Mm-hmm.
Let's start episode 23. That's the one, Basilosaurus.
Yeah, and
when,
I'm on it.
When you're on the beach. Okay.
Welcome to Aaron's World, episode 23. Dun, 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 dun. Welcome to Aaron's World. Today, we are going to do a little scuba diving.
Very good.
Now I want to do, well, next I'm going to do a dramatic part.
A dramatic part? Which dramatic part are you going to do?
The finding Smidge part.
Oh, at the end of the episode?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you need me to tell you
Yep.
what you remember the lines?
Mm-hmm.
All right, go ahead.
Smidge, Smidge, where are you? Smidge. Oh, there you are. Are you okay, Smidge? Like that.
That's very good. And that's And that's pretty much how we do the episode all the way through.
Mm-hmm.
Until we get to the very end. So once we're done with all your lines, then what do we do? What happens next?
We do Ino's lines. But if I wanted to get Ino's all the way upstairs in my bedroom.
Okay, so we won't bring Ino down for lines today.
Yeah.
But, so after you do your lines, then we do Ino's. And then we do lines for anyone else who might be in the episode. Sound effects.
Uh-huh.
Do you remember one sound effects we had to do? Where you had to dunk your head in water? And blow bubbles?
No.
You don't remember that?
Oh, the bubble one in episode 4.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it was episode 4, but
I dumped my head into a bucket of water.
Yeah.
And then I blow bubbles for bubbles underwater.
Yeah.
It was so fun.
We do as many sound effects as we can, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
So after we do the sound effects and any other lines, sometimes we come back and we do extra lines a few days later, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
Just in case there's something we missed or if you make changes. And then what happens? You go off and play, and what do I do?
Edit.
What's that?
Edit.
Edit. And then edit and edit and edit and put the whole episode together. Which is kind of fun. I enjoy doing it.
That's how we make Aaron's World. I hope you enjoyed it. Bye. Dun 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 dun.